Welcome to our Energy Connect studio at the Canadian Hydrogen Convention 2023. I'm delighted to have François Girard, Programs Advisor on Hydrogen Technologies at the National Research Council Canada, NRC, to come and talk to me about everything hydrogen in Canada. Thank you so much for joining me, François.
It's a pleasure.
Now, to start things off, could you just tell me a bit more about who NRC are and what you're doing around hydrogen?
Yes, NRC is the largest, the main federal research and technology organization. So we've been around since 1916, and we work in different environments, from engineering down to life science and computing, specifically around hydrogen. NRC has had a long history since the early 2000s and even before then in hydrogen and fuel cells. And more recently, NRC has established 4 research programs that have a hydrogen component to them, from production of hydrogen down to utilization and transportation. And it's fair to say that we adapt to the environment, no pun intended really, and it's very likely that we might see other programs having hydrogen into their components. So that's where we are active with industry. So our goal is to help Canada to generate economic benefits through research and development. So we work with industry very closely to do that.
That's really interesting to hear. And what role do you think hydrogen can play in helping Canada meet its net zero emissions target by 2050?
Yeah, good question. So I will refer you to the hydrogen strategy that was published in December 2020, which I understand is getting revised now, and we are looking at the assumptions and see what's still valid. But the strategy mentioned that hydrogen could serve about a third of the energy needs of Canada in 2050, as well as reducing by about the same amount the greenhouse gas emissions. So it is not the solution, it is part of the many solutions.
Yeah, I think that's clear to see. And what specific hydrogen technologies are you looking out for? Or, you've set up these research labs. Just be interested to hear more about what specific technologies are you either excited for or want to look more at?
As a scientist, I could go very deep into it, but I will spare you the pain of that. As people know, Canada has a lot of natural resources, natural gas being one of them, and we're in Edmonton where it's all happening. So obviously hydrogen from natural gas is something that we look at as a country. As my organization, we decided to take the longer term road, looking at hydrogen production technologies that do not produce greenhouse gas from fossil origin. So that's a mouthful, but what I mean is that as of today, we're concentrating on electrolysis technology, given the fact we have a fairly clean grid, electric grid. So this is a pathway that promises much cleaner hydrogen, at least we hope.
Great. And could you elaborate a bit more about what your hydrogen pillar is and how important collaboration is, which obviously a show like here is an example of?
There's so many examples to work on that. So I will refer to my hydrogen pillars because of the 4 different programs. So we will concentrate, as I said, on electrolysis for the production. We are looking at pipelines, materials and distribution, and as well as using data analytics to look at fueling stations' performance and how can we accelerate commissioning of stations. How can we understand failure modes of stations so we can put more R&D in those areas? And on the conversion side, we both look at fuel cells technology, for which the Vancouver lab has had 20 plus years experience, but also combustion, either through engines or in turbines for aerospace purposes. So we have this gamut of activities. On top of that, we support the government's agenda in regards to putting together adequate codes and standards. So we work, our mission is threefold. One is to work with industry, so we do collaborative or fee-for-service for industry. We support government departments in their policy making through science technology, as well as advancing the knowledge of science. So we work with a lot of people nationally and internationally. On the hydrogen challenges, it is clear no one can do it alone. So collaboration is key, and so we want to be part of that ecosystem in a collaborative way.
Well, that's really good to hear, François. And we're here at the Canadian Hydrogen Convention. Can you just, why have you come here and what are you looking forward to at the show?
So we have been very discreet in our activities. I would say I was active with a vehicle propulsion technology related program since 2012, 2013. And I was the only program at NRC, but the 4 programs kind of exploded in recent years. But given the pandemic and everything, our ability to show to the world what we are doing and connecting to collaborators, connecting to our like-minded peers has been a bit affected, obviously, over the last 3 years. So we thought it was time to be in a major event and connect, press the flesh, say hi to people, talk about what we're doing, and that's the reason why we're here this week.
Well, thank you, François. Really appreciate you coming down on this busy day at the Canadian Hydrogen Convention and explaining more about what NRC does. Sounds like exciting and busy times ahead.
Very busy, very busy. There's probably more to come. We just don't know when we roll with the punches as they come, and it's a very good time to be in hydrogen.
Thank you so much, François.
Pleasure.
Thanks everyone for watching. I'll be bringing more interviews from the show floor in the coming days.